To lend or not to lend, that is the question. Or at least it's the question of this month's Alpha Money. At some point, you may have had someone ask you for money, and it's normal to both want to help and to feel uncomfortable all at the same time. So what should you keep in mind? Mike Koyanen is here. Good to see you, Mike. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Liz.
Guessing this doesn't apply to my kid, who has no problem asking for money. Perhaps you have kids like that, too. But it does seem that this happens quite a bit, and a lot of people not really exactly sure how to respond.
As your child gets older, a higher probability is going to happen. The more children you have, like myself, the higher probability it does happen. And especially when they get to be adults, they tend to have more needs. So here's the problem with lending money. You have to look at this point. I mean, they're transferring their anxiety and their stress onto you. You know, all just feels like a big burden. You feel that emotional stress sometimes. And you have to understand the facts. 40% of the people that you lend money to, whether family or friends, they never pay it back. So you have to ask yourself, is it going to be awkward showing up at family events or golfing with your buddy, and here it's 5-7 days after the payment was due, or they were going to pay in a lump sum and they don't even bring it up. It gets to be a little stressful. And to my opinion, it's not worth it.
So you may want to help, but Mike, you say don't lend money you don't have, which sounds simple enough.
Yeah, and this has happened with some of my clients. I have somebody I've known that borrowed money to their children to help them save from losing their home, took a big hit financially, had to work another 5 years, and you know what happened at the end? They still lost their home. So, you know, I know your heart's out there for you, but you can't affect your own retirement in the meantime. If you have to drain money from these taxable accounts, it's not worth it. You shouldn't be draining money from your emergency funds. So you have to look at, is it going to put you in a bad situation? Don't borrow money. Don't take the full burden of their stress onto your life as well.
It may be awkward, but another good piece of advice here, get it in writing, and do not forget about the tax man, something that perhaps is often overlooked.
Yeah, and one time with a family member, I did get it in writing, and we got it notarized. We put interest terms in there. If there was, actually it was a zero interest, but there was a penalty. You know, banks give us a grace period when we take a loan, whether it's a mortgage or 10 days, 15 days. What is that penalty going to be after 10 days or 15 days? And get it in writing, get it notarized. If they don't pay, are you willing to sue them? You have to ask yourself, is that the place you want to go down if they're not going to make payments with that? You have to look at the taxes. If you're taking money from an IRA, taxable, 401k, taxable. If you're under 59 and a half, 10% penalties on top of that. I don't recommend taking a 401k loan out because you got to pay yourself back with interest. There's a lot of things to think about. And if you're collecting interest, you're supposed to report that as income as well. So there's a lot of things to think about when you are gifting money.
Sometimes you just have to go with your gut, but maybe you know it really isn't a great idea, so offering other ways to help could be another option.
We made the change in our lives to say it's not worth the stress in our lives, so we said if we're going to give, it's just going to be a gift. So we got ourselves out of the lending business with family and friends. But there's other ways you can help, which is coaching. You might have more financial knowledge that you can help out, just emotional support to talk. Sometimes it's a matter of they need help with childcare. So they can get a second job or work a little bit longer at the office to make some more money or work some overtime. And maybe that's where you can help out. Even maybe helping out with food, get them on their feet. Sometimes, though, in these tough times, that's where you grow the most. That's where character is built. Even though you have the ability to help them out, doesn't mean you have to help them out. Because if they're never going to learn how to get out of these situations, you're just enabling them, in my opinion.
Great advice, both parenting advice and money advice. You do it all. Remember to head to principalpreservationservices.com for more information. But Mike Koyanen, always good to see you. Thanks for
Liz.
being here.
Appreciate it.